Do you call yourself an incel? Do you honestly have a hatred of women? Do you have thoughts that go beyond anger and possibly to a much darker place? I'm here to tell you there's still hope. There's still a way back from it all. But first, you gotta like this video and subscribe to the channel because that would be awesome and it would help me out a whole lot. Now, let's get started.
Hi, I'm Natasha, and you're listening to Touch Grass and Wash Your Feet.
A lot of young males believe that 90% of all women only want the top 1% of men, while the rest are left out in the cold. They believe that women only want a man if he is over 6 foot, makes 6 figures, is a physical athletic specimen, and a full head of hair. In your opinion, how much of this is true, and what would you say to a man who believes this?
I feel like that's not true. I feel like women want someone who's within their league. So if they're a four, they're looking for a four to match them. They want someone who matches them. Not necessarily the hottest thing walking. Like if they look in the mirror and know that they're a four, they know that that hottest dude walking, that 6'4" rich dude, isn't checking for them.
I think it's bullshit. For me personally, I have dated people that have been 6'3", 6'5". I've dated people that are 5'5". Let me just specify men. Dated men that were that tall. I don't. I dated a guy and we were together 2 years and I never even knew what he did for a living. I didn't ask. It didn't matter to me. I just liked him for him. It was more of a energy type situation. Now, I will say I prefer men with hair, but that's just a personal. Not that I haven't been with people that don't have hair. So it's just that I prefer people that get my attention are generally bearded and tattooed, and but I've been with people that are no tattoos, shorter. It doesn't matter to me what you do for a living as long as it is legal.
I mean, there are women who definitely only want that, right? Like, I'm not going to say that that's not a thing. I'm not going to say that that isn't something that women strive for. But I think that the reality is that if there's the top 1% of men, then only 1% of women are going to get that. And most of us know that, right? Like, I mean, I'm cute, but I'm not going to date like a guy who makes $1 million and like does all this stuff, because that's not, I don't know people like that. You don't meet people like that. It's not normal. Um, and for guys who believe this, I would say, I would ask them probably, where are your standards at? Do you know like what league you're in? Are you playing to your own league, or are you trying to get the top 1% of women? Because the top 1% of women want that top 1% of men. So if you're believing that, are you looking for people who are interested in and make the same amount of money as you do? Or are you trying to level up? And if you're trying to level up, what's wrong with a woman trying to level up in that way? Like, you're mad about nothing.
None of it is true. As long as you have a good heart and you're willing to communicate and respect one another, that's all that should matter.
I have a confession to make. I was doing research on a video that I was working on last week. It was the one where I was discussing women who are money obsessed and we're talking about dating down. Naturally, I was seeking out negative content, but I kind of got overwhelmed by how much I actually saw. And I actually got a little angry after watching all these videos that were putting men down and making the point that a man's value is based entirely on his income. I felt anger towards some of these creators, and I may have actually let a little bit of that creep into my own video. And then I thought to myself, If I'm getting angry after only watching a couple of hours of these videos, how would this affect a young man that's already struggling with dating? How does this affect someone that's already fallen into the traps of negative thinking? How does it make you feel to watch toxic video after toxic video on TikTok or yet another man-bashing, man-hating post on Reddit? I was really beginning to understand the feelings of anger and resentment towards women that is so common in the incel circles. Now, toxic women do exist, and I fully believe that this is something worth talking about. But I also want to take a step back from that rhetoric because there's so much of this already out there, and my mission is not to dwell on negativity, but to build stronger men. Part of that means recognizing why some men turn to the incel culture to begin with, because the only way to get out of it is to understand how you got there to begin with. Overconsumption of toxic content on the internet is a path to misery by any metric. Constantly watching videos of men telling you that women are awful and then following it up with videos of awful women being awful, that's almost certainly a factor in turning an otherwise good person into what we call an incel. And of course, once you've taken that pill, it only gets worse as the internet is notoriously cruel to those who self-identify as such. So first, I want you to understand that you do have a right to feel anger and resentment sometimes, but you also have an obligation to overcome it. You can have those feelings. We all have feelings that we're not always proud of, especially when ingesting content that seems to be attacking you directly. But it is your duty to never allow those feelings to manifest in the form of violent thoughts or worse yet, violent action. You must always remember that the average man is about 4 times stronger than the average woman. And no matter how much society evolves with the topic of gender roles, one thing will never change. It is always the man's duty to be a protector, always. We are physically stronger, and with that strength comes responsibility. And yes, I know I just did a Spider-Man. But if you have fallen, if you have gone so deep into anger and resentment that you're having thoughts of violence, not just against women, I'm also talking about self-harm, then the thing you need to do is go talk to somebody, and I don't mean me. If it has become that serious in your life, then I am not the guy to talk to. I don't even want to pretend to be that guy. That's way above my pay grade, I promise you. You need to talk to someone who is trained and qualified to help because you matter. I say that at the end of every video, and I absolutely mean it. You mean a lot to a whole lot of people, and you may not even know it. So don't let them down by doing something you won't be able to undo. One thing that I did that helped when I was in the darkest days of my life, and I was wondering if the world would be better off without me, was I went and I bought a lotto ticket. What I was actually doing was buying myself a few days to get through whatever I was going through. Sure, the odds of winning are 0, but what happens if you do something to hurt yourself and then this ticket does hit? You got to stick around long enough to find out. Now, I'm telling you this because it helped me, but seriously, get a therapist. That is the only correct answer. Get a therapist, but also stop consuming negative content on the internet. Just stop. Stop watching toxic TikTok videos that are just confirming your biases. Stop reading Reddit posts from spiteful, hurt people who simply want others to feel that way as well. Cut it out completely because constantly consuming negative content is not just unhealthy, it is actually dangerous. But more importantly, none of it is real. And that's the good news. The internet is not an accurate picture of how real women interact in the real world. We're not living in a world full of sprinkles or women that are hyper materialistic or talk down to shorter men. The man hating and man bashing that you see online exists in a bubble, a very small but loud bubble. This isn't just true when discussing women. Most of the negativity you see on the internet is absent in the real world. Regardless of demographic, more often than not, you're seeing the worst people at their worst behavior over and over again. You cannot make the mistake of applying that to everyone in that particular group. Real women are actually wonderful, kind human beings who just want to love and be loved. They bring amazing things to this world and are truly worthy of all of our affection.
I believe in you. You make me feel safe. I appreciate everything you do for me. I'm so proud of you. You're the strongest man I know. You're so amazing. I love the way you think. I trust you. I want you. You never cease to amaze me. I respect you. You inspire me so much. I love the man you've become. You're my best friend. I can't imagine my life without you. You're an amazing leader. I'm so lucky to have you. You make me a better person. I love you for you. You're my rock. You always know how to make me smile. I fully support you and your dreams. What can I do for you? I love learning from you. Your masculinity is so sexy. You always know how to make me feel better. You make my life better. I honor you. You're so amazing. I'm with you no matter what.
The overwhelming majority of women are not concerned with your bank account or your height. Do people have preferences? Of course. But the real world is nothing like the online world. That's why it's so important to go outside. After watching hours of negative videos on TikTok, I went out and met lots of people in the real world, and I promise you that they were the opposite of everything I had just seen on the internet. Everyone I talked to was super sweet, easy to approach. And yeah, I even visited a couple of bars, and there might have been a couple of ladies there who had a bit much to drink. But overall, it was still a very positive experience, and I can't wait to do it again. To go outside, meet real people, talk to them, engage. I know it's scary, but it's a vital step towards becoming the fully realized men that we all strive to be. Will some people reject you or turn you down? Yes, of course. But even in those cases, it's still better than the online world. You are still learning and gaining experience that will help all of this become easier over time. And even if dating is not on the table, there are still opportunities to build those absolutely vital platonic relationships while working towards finally landing a romantic one. So yes, touch grass because the internet is lying to you. Women are actually freaking amazing, and you need to get off of these stupid apps and go strike a conversation with a real person. And I don't mean run out there and try to drop a bunch of pickup lines, but actual genuine conversations. If you are perpetually online, then try finding a real life equivalent to your favorite online activities. If it's poker, find a nearby poker house or a bar that does poker nights. Or maybe you're a chess player. Then surely there's going to be a chess club in your area somewhere. Or if you're a gamer, then the good news for you is that the arcades are making a comeback. Sometimes these activities won't help you meet women, but they will help you meet people. And the more you build your social life in the real world, the better off you will be. Hey guys, that's it for this edition of Touch Grass. If you enjoyed this video, please feel free to leave a like and subscribe, but don't just sit and watch internet videos all day. You need to go outside and conquer life because you matter and you need to make every day matter. Now get off the internet and go touch grass.
Until we meet again!